everybody, it is the Lawn Gnome, and welcome to your March episode of Out of the Vault. If you're new to my channel, welcome, it's a pleasure to have you, and welcome to my segment where I talk about nothing but the wonderful world of Disney and Disney magic. Although in this case, I may not be talking much about that. All I can say is, oh, the things I do for you, my wonderful, wonderful fans, as well as me trying to be a completionist. It was just a matter of time before I actually got to, apparently, Disney's 45th, probably most forgettable classic from 2004, Home on the Range, featuring the voices of Roseanne Barr, Dame Judi Dench, Randy Quaid, Steve Buscemi, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Jennifer Tilly. This is the story of a female cow named Maggie who is brought to a peaceful little ranch out in the middle of the West, and then she finds out that the owner of the farm, whose name is Pearl, unfortunately will have to be closing because she can't come up with the money to pay for the rent. And then she and these two cows, one who is a fancy cow and one who is a little bit of a clueless Serenity cow, go on an adventure into town to try and find a way to get the money, and in the meantime run into the villain of this film, whose name is Alameda Slim, played of course by Randy Quaid. So I don't know what's more terrifying, the fact that Disney actually decided to make this movie and make it a canon classic, or the fact that I was actually able to dictate to you guys what the movie was about and who is actually in it, as well as character names, because these characters are so horribly put together. This whole movie is a mess from beginning to end. It is an absolute shame to know that Disney actually went this low. I know that throughout my show of Out of the Vault here on my channel, I have mentioned about the dark days of Disney, and most of the time it talked about the 1980s when there was a lot of competition in animation and was catering not just to children's audiences. But this time around, when you want to take a look at the really dark point of Disney in terms of its animation, you go to the 2000s, the early 2000s in particular. Yes, there were some very out-of-the-box stories that were very entertaining, like Atlantis the Lost Empire and Treasure Planet, but then when you take a look at movies like Brother Bear and Home on the Range and Dinosaur and Chicken Little, I mean, we're really talking some of the worst movies that Disney has ever created. And when John Lasseter himself was actually asked to go into the studio's animation division and actually be a bigger person there rather than just working with Pixar, he saw these animators that just really didn't seem to give a damn, especially considering the fact that this was also the last 2D animated film until The Princess and the Frog was created, because animation was going CGI, things were changing, they didn't think that kids were going to want to see 2D animated movies anymore. And the fact that they just, I guess you could say, poured salt in the open wound just to show the world that 2D animation was going nowhere, but they could have at least tried to make this somewhat nice. I mean, it's filled with crude humor, the jokes completely missed the mark. I think I may have laughed out loud at maybe one joke. The villain is so unthreatening and so forgettable. The characters are so horribly done. I mean, we're talking also some of the bigger names in Hollywood. I mean, Judi Dench? Dame Judi Dench voiced a character in Home on the Range? Oh my lord, lady, I am so sorry that you actually had to subject yourself to this horribleness. And the songs, there's like maybe one or two songs, and they're really nothing special. The animation even takes a massive step backwards for 2D animation. Their 2D animated films were some of the greatest, especially in the Disney Renaissance, but my goodness, this doesn't even feel like a Disney movie. It definitely doesn't write like a Disney movie. There are fart and burp jokes in this movie. That's something that you really don't expect to even see in a Disney movie unless it's actually done with a little bit of class like you saw in a movie like The Lion King. But I am just going to say that I am so thankful that I have officially watched this movie, because I am now one step closer to my completion of watching all the canon classics, and I'm also glad that I'm never going to have to see this movie again, because I never want to see this movie again. There is nothing to embrace in this film. There is nothing to really appreciate about this film. Just forget it. Pretend that it never existed. Heck, after you watch this review, pretend that I never even gave you this review, so it doesn't even pique your curiosity to go see this movie, because I saw it now, so you don't have to. I'm giving Home on the Range 0 stars out of 4. This is the lowest rating that I have ever given a Disney Canon classic, and I'm hoping that this will, in fact, be the last time. So either way, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please put your comments in the box below if you want to discuss Home on the Range, and if you've seen it, I am more than willing to be your grief counselor on this matter. But I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next Out of the Vault. Take care. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.